Welcome back to another episode of The Final Approach. So last time we had a bit of a short episode, so I'm going to try and get that one sort of sandwiched in quickly, or it should have been timed reasonably quickly for you. So we had a mission that was, first of all, we've now got our mission to go to the Moon again, but we still don't have a landing mission, so we're going to send a crew to the Moon possibly in the next episode, we will see. But we also have a space station mission, so I was originally going to use the lander cans as part of the space station, but I have realised that in the utility tab, where's the utility tab, we also have crew cabins, and they are quite light. I think that's like a ton, and the lander can is, it's half, well, it's lighter than the lander can. So, future past speedy up bit me, I had a look at the lander can, I looked at the crew cabin and decided we were actually going to use the crew cabin to make this sort of odd contraption that's sort of long stick with two things on the end. I thought it looked a bit like a space station, could potentially look like a thing. But I think fitting the 5 crew on was quite difficult. So my idea at this point was to send this thing up and then potentially dock with it with just one of the craft we've got in orbit. It was actually my plan. But then, I sort of lost track of the fact that most space stations are launched without crew in them. We put some of the antennae on and things like that, but I also forgot things like solar panels and really important things, which was actually going to sort of distract me later on. And what we did was we stuck one of our launch rockets from previous missions, the moon mission, onto the bottom. And then when I came to look at the crew, the next question is, who is going to fly this monstrosity? That is a good question. We could put Val up. Or we could put Bill. Bill has decided he wants to fly. Okay, Bill. That's an interesting choice that you've made there. If you're flying, we're actually going to... I need to put solar panels on. I knew I needed to... Well done, Bill. You have saved us. What we're going to do is... so for some reason, Bill decided he was going to fly the craft. I'm still not quite sure what's going on. But because of that, I decided to modify it. We decided to stick a little service module on the bottom there with an Octo crown probe core thing. And because of that meant I could then put the solar panels inside the little thing. And then I realised I would put some other antennas on and just have them sticking out. And then we're going to launch the whole thing up. But at this point, I'd now got distracted by the fact that I was going to put a crew member on it. Which isn't what you normally do with space stations. So Soil 1, the most useless space station ever is ready. We have Bill is flying in it because he's the guy that obviously developed this absolute mess of a craft. We actually need to put the launch clamps in the same stage as the first engines. We need to have the second engine in there as well, and these are going to go, then that's going to happen. We don't have any way of bringing him back, is the big problem. But, you know what? We will send something up at some point to get him. I mean, it doesn't say we have to bring Kerbals back from this mission, does it? Right, let's go. Right, we are on the launch pad. Let us get going. Oh dear. Right. Let's do that again, I think. Yep, well, that was the least successful flight ever. Let's try that again with feeling. Right, take 2. Turn the actual engines ready to go this time. Right, let's do this. And we're away. Well done, Bill. You survived your first flight, and this is your second, technically. I don't know if that actually was counted as a flight for you. I'd have to look back. I have to look back in the logs and see what it says. So yeah, note to self. Might want to turn the engines on when you release the clamps, potentially. That could have been better. Could have been a lot better, couldn't it? Yeah. Right. So here we go with Soil 1, the first space station that we are putting up there. And it is definitely not a combination of crew cabins and a capsule. That's definitely not what it is. It's definitely not that. Soil 1 also has a lack of any sort of control. That is horrendous. What on earth are we doing there? Aerodynamics be damned. There we go. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's sorted itself out mid-flight. That is an interesting approach to aerodynamics. Then, guess we didn't need to worry too much about that. Do a spin in the midair and off you go again. I would imagine I should have actually throttled down, and we hit max Q quite. What was that? Seriously? What? Collided into... Alright, so 2 of our fuel tanks hit each other. Dead ones, I'm guessing. Okay. Right. Bill, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not impressed so far with this whole project. I think we need to reevaluate it. However, you don't have a parachute on board, so I'd have to bail you. Oh, actually, that's how we can get you out. We can bail you out when you come back in the station. Oh, that's brilliant. That's a superb idea. We don't need to worry about anything else then, do we? Just get you to re-enter and bail out over the ocean. That's a perfect way of rescuing you, sort of. That's never going to go wrong, is it? Ever. Never, ever go wrong. Not at all. One of the big things is, do we actually... I don't even know if we've got... It seems that the reaction wheel is not enjoying itself as much, shall we say. Right, so we're into an orbit of sorts. Right, so we need to put a maneuver node in. Well, we're not into an orbit, we're in a suborbit. Right, there we go. And that's it. That's where I want to be. Do I have the delta V for that? Yeah, I should have. I should have the delta V for that. Right, so we're just going to let ourselves move up now. Now, see, let's have a look. We need to be aware of electric charge and things like that, because it is the night. I have launched in the night, because the first launch I think was in the day. No, it was in the night as well, because we saw the wonderful engine explosion at the bottom of the craft blew up. Amazed that the whole thing didn't go, actually. I guess, Bill, that you were just far enough up so that it bounced a little bit. I don't believe that's happened before. I do remember, was it Vanguard where it went about like a meter off the ground, and then its engine failed, and I think it was Kaputnik. Kaputnik was the line in the newspapers. I wasn't around at that time, I must say. I'm not that old, but yeah, that was the newspaper headline. Kaputnik and Kasplutnik and all sorts of other clever players on the word. Right, and we are going to start burning a little bit early, I think. There we go. Very nice. Get this going. So this is going to be about 100 kilometers up this burn, I think. Sorry, where we're actually going to circularize, which I don't have an issue with, actually. I think that's a good altitude to be coming in at for this. And you can see there, we've got our second stage there. Now what we could have actually done is got rid of this docking port, thinking about it. Didn't need 2 docking ports, but I was undecided about whether we was keeping this up and we're going to use it for anything, because it might be useful for tourist contracts. I don't know. There might be other contracts involving it. I'm not entirely sure. Alternatively, with this level of delta V, we can't go to the moon, I don't think. I think it's 900 for the moon, something like that. But we could have a nice high orbit at least, do some science up high, which we haven't, I think, done much of. Although you're an engineer, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Right, I want to just realign this to there and then fire again. Something you cannot do in normal rockets. There we go. It's not the best orbit in the world, but it'll do. It'll do. It'll do, Jeb. It'll do. Well, you're not Jeb, you're Bill. But anyway, right. So we have our craft in orbit there. Isn't that wonderful? It's not a craft, it's a station. So let's have a look. Have we completed our contract? Build a new orbital station around Kerbin. You have finished construction of a new orbital station around Kerbin. Wonderful. Perfect. And what we can actually do is put our little probe things out. Extend antennae. Get all of those extended. And we are pretty much gone and done. Superb. Right. Extend antennae. And, oh no, I clicked the wrong button. Extend antennae. Right. So I'm actually going to jump over to Jeb, and we're going to dock him here, because actually he needs to come down at some point. And, yeah. So, switch to the Mango 1B. He's in his second craft. And Jeb is going to, how much fuel you got? Yeah, you got loads. You got loads for this, right? So, set as target. What's our relative inclinations for this? 1 degree. Okay, that's not brilliant. Right, let's do a little maneuver play around. You've got a close maneuver there. But not close enough. So what if we just we try and get a bit closer? That's not going to work for us, is it? These are miles away. Right. That's the one I think we're going to go for. The problem will be is if I don't have enough fuel. So let's do it there, add maneuver. And I want to refine this second one here. There we go, we're just moving it along, getting it better. 3, not gone too far. So 3.2 is as good as we're going to get at that point. So we're going to do a bit more refining. And I think we're now going to have to look at inclination as a key one. Right, we can get within 1 kilometer, can we? Drop this down a bit. Yeah, we're getting within 1 kilometer. Oh, no, there we go. That's good, that's good. Within 40 meters. So if I got that burned perfectly, we'd get within 40 meters. I am not going to get that burned perfectly, but we can at least RCS a bit of it. Right. So we are going to just orientate ourselves. Jeb's going to help if we put on the SAS there so that we're not flipping around all over the place. Right. Jeb, how's it going? This is quite a daring task you've got here because we don't actually need to do this. I don't actually know why I'm doing it. Probably because we can. And it's, to me, this isn't a real space station until somebody's docked to it. So I'm not allowing myself to consider it that, even though we sent a man up in it. You don't often send people up in your space stations. In fact, I can't think of a space station that was manned when it went up, so us putting Bill in there was a bit of a cheek, I think. Right, so we're just going to speed time forward a little bit till we get within a range, and then we're going to do that. Right, let's have a look what we got. Let's get some RCS on, and we're going to do a bit of RCSing. And this is actually more efficient doing it at this point than it is when we get closer to the other craft, because every sort of meter per second has more impact on potential closest approach. So there you go, we're about 40 meters. 40 meters? I got 40 meters before. Where I come back? The 48 meters. Okay. So turn the RCS off now because I don't want it firing randomly. And we're going to come around to about here, and we're going to warp there, and then we've got the target on. And we're going to use Jeb in his special I've been in space before retrograde orientation. We're going to see what we need. So he has, let's see, 499 meters per second. That's enough to deorbit if we get this done in a reasonable amount of time. We're now coming in reasonably quickly. I want to get us to within about 30 seconds before I start firing our engines too much. And we actually, this is actually a very slow approach, isn't it? Considering these speed differences, it says, because these are now thrown off. I need to be, oh, no. Too much looking the other way. Come back. There we go. Right. So what we actually did then was, we were too busy looking at a piece of data that is incorrect. That's on the orbital data, not target, because for some reason it has decided to not tell me the closest approaches correctly. And that's a little glitch you sometimes do get. I think when you get to a certain range with these things, they glitch out. And sometimes you have to use a bit of the old Mark 1 eyeball, as the American military. I think the American military calls it the Mark 1 eyeball, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So we're going to RCS this now, and we're going to actually I'm going to use a bit of this. Bit of RCS craziness. There we go. 10 seconds away. We're just trying to drift the craft down. And then there we go. So we're pretty much at the right position now. We're going to jump back to you. You are still positioned correctly. That's nice. So now we're going to position you without that. We're going to position you onto the normal is what I want to do. And the normal is over there. Over here. Come on, come on. Find me the normal. Find me the normal. There we are. So now we're on the normal, and this is just a case of the docking again. And this is me practicing my docking yet again. Right. There we go. There we go. Target. There we go. That's the Waltons. How have I got the Waltons theme tune? I was trying to go for Blue Danube by, I think it's Strauss, is it? But for some reason, I've gone for the Waltons theme tune. Yeah, I grew up in the age, well, actually I didn't, I grew up after the Waltons, but it was on TV in the UK for many a year, shall we say. So I grew up in the age of the Waltons-ish. UK Waltons, shall we say. I remember going to school with a guy called Walton and always thinking it was cool. There was a TV program named after his... There we go. Come on. Yes, there we go. Docked away. Right. We are docked. That's wonderful. And Bill, I'm actually going to move Jeb. Yeah, we're going to move Jeb. I'm going to move Jeb. We're going to send Bill home, even though the craft he's in won't have control, because I think if somebody has to parachute down, it's going to be Jeb. So, first of all, get rid of some of that into the inventory there. We don't need that. Right. Jeb, we're going to transfer crew. We're going to transfer you to here. Right. And then we're going to transfer crew. We're going to transfer you to there. Like so. And then we're going to transfer crew again. We're going to transfer Jeb into that capsule. Right, because that has got an exit and I need to make sure we've got exits. So, I think, do we do it now or do we do it in the next episode? You know what? I think we have to do it. I think Jeb has to come home. Alright, let's get ready for this. Okie doke. We want to come down as near to somewhere that we know as possible. What's that? That's the desert airfield. He's just past our KSC's in the dark. You know what? We're going to go around a few times until the KSC is going to be in the light, because I want him to try and land KSC and I want him to land in the light. So he's going to spend a few hours just orbiting, because of course the good thing about Kerbin is that, well, we're going to warp to here. The good thing about Kerbin is that its days are only about 4 hours long, and the orbital period is very short as well. So he's got a few orbits in there and all that, and he's happy, I suppose. Right, I don't know where the best place for him to land is, and I've never used parachutes before. I should point out, Kerbals with parachutes is something that came, came after I stopped playing Kerbal for a while, and I haven't really used them since then. So, yeah, this could be embarrassing for us, I think. All right, there we go. Right, we are ready. Of course, he has got the ability to bring this thing down. Now, oh, now that's a thought, isn't it? Could he actually repulsively land this thing? It's got weight in that tank because of the way it's designed. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That is a possibility. We could repulsively land it. Let's see how we go through the atmosphere anyway. Right, we're coming over the ocean by the KSC. I think we're gonna overshoot the KSC, probably, is what I'm thinking. Oh, I don't know. We might not. Right. Let's speed through the atmosphere. We're going to just let the craft lose speed as best it can in the upper atmosphere going horizontal. I don't mind it up here at the moment not firing its engines. I am ready to hit the thrust on those engines as quickly as possible though. And in actual fact, I want us now to fire those engines because I want to land near the KSC, at least a bit near it. We're going to be miles away. Yeah, we're overshooting big time. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. And we are out of fuel now. Right, we're going to reduce mass as much as possible. So we're going to undock that. Right. And then we're going to... Right. I'm going to EVA you when you get down to a reasonable altitude, which is now. What? What do you mean you can't EVA? No. No. You've got to be able to EVA. No! Oh, Jeb. Oh, Jeb. On that bombshell, if somebody wants to tell me why he couldn't EVA, that would be really good. I probably should have turned the time warp off as well, shouldn't we? That would probably be the reason. Well, Val's still alive though. Right. Until next time, have a great one.